welcome back to day 4 of your home learning videos. The first thing I wanted to share with you today was the opening of a really amazing story that was sent in by Lorelei. Now, she sent us through a video of her reading it. Unfortunately, obviously, I can't share that with you, but it was amazing. So I really hope that me reading this does her story justice. I'm going to be reading it from my laptop just down here if you're wondering why I'm looking in this direction. I was a young, adventurous explorer with dreams on my mind and believed that anything could happen if I tried. I had dreams like discovering a new tree or leaf or plant or something. But what I found was much bigger than anything I thought I would ever achieve. Now, wasn't that just a brilliant story opening? Personally, if I was reading that and I didn't have the rest of the story, I'd really want to know what happened next. It's really good to see so many of you are working hard on the tasks that we set you, and I look forward to seeing what comes into our inbox in the next few days. Okay, on with today's maths. So what I've done with today's is I've given you the answers for Thursday and Friday, because what I have been doing is uploading the videos at 10 AM every day with the previous day's answers. But if I were to do that with Friday's answers, then you'd be waiting until Monday for those answers. And from next week, the schedule is going to be slightly different. I'm going to be uploading at 2:30 every day, and that's going to be on the day that you would have done it. So with Monday, you'll get Monday's answers at 2:30, and then Tuesday's answers will be at 2:30 on Tuesday, and so on and so forth. So, looking at Thursday's arithmetic, the first question is 54 divided by 6, which is 9. The next question, 457 multiplied by 3. Well, we know that 7 times 3 is 21. 5 times 3 is 15, add 2 is 17. 3 times 4 is 12, add 1 is 13. So the answer is 1,371. The next question is 9,400 take away 8. Now, you should be able to do that in your head, but let's just double check the answer by doing it in the formal method. So we can't do 0 take away 8, and we can't go and exchange in the tens column because there's a 0 there as well. So we need to exchange from the hundreds column. Our 1 goes to the tens column. We still can't do anything in the ones column. So we change the tens column to a 9. The ones column goes to a 10. 10 take away 8 is 2. 9 take away nothing is 9. 3 take away nothing is 3. And 9 take away nothing is 3. So we're left with 9,392. On to our reasoning questions. So this one is Holly buys 3 packets of balloons. She pays with a £5 note and gets 65p change. So the first thing we need to work out is how much 3 packets of balloons cost. And to do that, we do £5 take away 65 pence. We can't do 0 take away 5, and we can't take away in our exchange in our tenths column. So we need to go to our ones column. That becomes a 10. Again, we can't exchange, we can't take away in our hundredths column. So we exchange now from our tenths column. 10 take away 5 is 5. 9 take away 6 is 3. 4 take away nothing is 4. So she paid £4.35 for 3 packets of balloons. But the question is, how much does 1 packet of balloons cost? So we need to then divide £4.35 by 3. And we can do that using bus stop. 3's into 4 is 1, remainder 1. 3's into 13 is 4, remainder 1, and 3's into 15 is 5. So 1 packet of balloons cost £1.45. This question is slightly similar to the last question. 6 mangoes cost £8.10. Calculate the cost of 1 mango. So again, we can do that using bus stop. So £8.10 divided by 6. 6 is into 8, goes once, remainder 2. 6 is into 21. Well, the closest we can get to 21 in our 6 times tables is 18, which is 3 times 6, and that's remainder 3, and 6 divides into 30 equally 5 times. So 1 mango is £1 35. And make sure that you've got your pound sign in there because it's not in there already for you like it was on the last question. The next question is write the missing numbers to make these sentences correct. So the first one is half of 90 kilograms. So what we're doing when we halve something is dividing it by 2, and 90 divided by 2 equals 45. So half of 90 kilograms is 45 kilograms. The next question is asking you 1/8 of what equals 20 kilograms. So if it was asking you 1/8 of 20 kilograms, we need to divide 20 by 8. But it's saying 1/8 of what equals 20 kilograms. So we need to do the inverse and do 20 multiplied by 8. And if we were doing 2 times 8, it would be 16. So 20 times 8 equals 160. So 1/8 of 160 equals 20. The next one, we're looking at a Venn diagram. Now the way a Venn diagram works, if you're not sure, is anything in the middle can apply to both sides. And in this case, prime factors of 24. So if they were just a prime factor of 24, they'd go in the left-hand side. If they were just a factor of 24, they'd go in the right-hand side. And anything that doesn't apply to any of those spaces goes in the outside. So let's have a little look first. So the prime numbers that we've got in this list are 2, which has been done for you already because 2 is a prime factor and a factor of 24. 3 and 7. So 2, 3 and 7 are our prime numbers. Now 3 we know is a factor of 24. So 3 would go in the middle because it's a prime factor and it's a factor of 24. So we'll cross that one out. 7 is not a factor of 24, but it is a prime number, but it would go outside because it's not a prime factor of 24 and it's not a factor of 24. Looking at 4 and 6, well we know that 4 multiplied by 6 is 24. So both 4 and 6 will go in here because they are factors of 24 but not prime. Now we're going to look at Friday's questions. So the first one on your arithmetic for Friday is 132 divided by 12, which hopefully you know in your tables equals 11. The next one we can do using a formal written method. So 36,853, add 7,255. 3 add 5 is 8. 5 add 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 8 add 2 is 10. Add 1 is 11. 6 add 7 is 13. Add 1 is 14. And 3 add 1 is 4. So the answer is 44,108. Last one on your Friday arithmetic is 1/7 multiplied by 5. Now you know that we don't multiply the denominator. So 1 times 5 and we're left with 5/7. And that is the simplest form of that fraction there. On to our reasoning for today. So PQ is a straight line, or otherwise known as a straight angle. Now hopefully you know that in a straight angle there are 180 degrees. Now we know that this angle on the left is 55 degrees and this angle on the right is 28 degrees, and it's asking you to calculate the size of angle X. So the first step is to add 55 and 28. So 5 add 8 is 13, 5 add 2 is 7, add 1 is 8. And so these two together are 83 degrees. Then we need to find out what X is. So we need to do 180, take away 83. Can't do 0, take away 3, so we exchange. 10 take away 3 is 7. We can't do 7 take away 8, so we exchange. And 17 take away 8 is 9. So angle X equals 97 degrees. The next question involves scaling. So here are the ingredients to make pizza bases. We need 500 grams of flour, 25 grams of butter, and 350 millilitres of water. Jason makes a pizza base or pizza bases using 1,500 grams of flour. And it's asking you, based on 1,500 grams of flour, what weight of butter should he use? So, hopefully you'll be able to see the pattern here, that 500 multiplied by 3 equals 1,500, because 5 times 3 equals 15. So that means that we also need to multiply the butter by 3, and we'd also need to multiply the water if it was asking us how much water we'd need by 3 as well. So 25 times 3, 5 times 3 is 15, 3 times 2 is 6, add 1 is 7, so he needs 75 grams of butter. The next one is Mia and Jason have some money. Altogether, they have £1.30. Mia gives Jason 20p, so they both have the same amount. How much money did they each have at the start? So we first need to find out what £1.30 is divided by 2. So we'll do this using bus stop, even though we can probably do it in our heads. So 2 doesn't go into 1. 2 goes into 13, 6 times remainder 1, and 2 goes into 10 5 times. So for them to have the same amount, they have 65 pence each. But at the start they didn't have the same amount because Mia gave Jason 20p. So if we take away 20p from 65, so that's take away 0.2, we're left with 0.45. And then if we add that 20p onto the other 65p, we have 85p. So one of them at the start had 45p, one of them at the start had 85p, and it was Mia that gave Jason 20p. So Mia started off with more, she had 85p, and Jason started off with 45p. When we're writing money, if we're writing it as a decimal, pence looks like this, 0.45, but if you're writing it with p, you would write just 45p, like that. The next one, circle the two fractions that are equivalent to 0.4. So if we were to draw our place value chart, we'll put in a 0 on the end of 4, so we've got our ones column, our tenths column here, and our hundredths column here. So you can already see that 0.4 is the equivalent to 4 tenths, so we'll circle that one. And it's also 40 hundredths, which is this one here. And the final question for Friday. Now, looking at our denominators, we've got a 2, we've got a 4, we've got an 8, and we've got another 4. Don't let the fact that that's a mixed number confuse you. The denominator remains a 4. The common multiple and the highest multiple amongst all of these is 8. So we need to turn all of these fractions into 8s, starting with 5 over 2. So to get to 8, we multiply by 4, and as we know, whatever we do to the bottom, we do to the top. So 5 times 4 is 20. So 5 over 2 is the equivalent to 28. 13 over 4. So to get to 8s, 4 times 2 equals 8. 13 times 2 equals 26. So 13 over 4 is 26 over 8. 25 over 8 we don't need to do anything with because we've already got that as 8ths. Now, for 2 3/4, it would be much easier if we first converted it from a mixed number into an improper fraction. So, to do that, we need to multiply the denominator by the whole number, 2 times 4 equals 8. Then we add that to the numerator. So 3 add 8 equals 11. So it's 11 over 4. But that's not where we leave it, because obviously we need to turn it into eighths. So we'll do that just over here. So 4 times 2 equals 8. 11 times 2 equals 22. So 2 3/4 is the equivalent to 22 eighths. So now that we've converted them all into eighths, we can start to put them in ascending order. And we know it's in ascending order because it says start off with the smallest. So the smallest is 20 eighths. We've got 20 eighths, 26 eighths, 25 eighths and 22 eighths. The smallest is 20 eighths, but we're going to put them in their original fractions, which is 5 over 2. Give that one a tick because we've used it. The next smallest is 22 eighths, which is the equivalent to 2 3/4. The next smallest is 25 eighths, and we didn't need to do anything with that one. And the biggest is 26 eighths, and the original of that one was 13 over 4. That's the equivalent. Okay, and that was the end of this week's maths questions. As always, please do keep your emails coming into our inbox with any questions that you might have or any work that you've been doing. Like I said, it's really great to see what you're doing at home, and we'd really love to see more of it. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye!